In nominal pi models, here is draw C by 2 and C by 2 is the lumped capacitance. We divide and connected in one end is receiving end and other is sending ends. So, in this model we draw the phasor diagram. The receiving end voltage VR is our reference phasor. We draw VR and IR is the reference, phasor is VR and IR is the receiving end current. This phasor we add the drop is IR into R. This phasor is represent the drop of the reactive component J IR into X and the resultant of in all these phasors the sending end voltage. Here we represent the current IC2, IC1 and here is the line current IL and IR. So, we can write the equation IC1 equal to J of VR into omega C divided by 2. This is IC1, IL line current, we can write mod of IR cos phi r minus j sin phi r plus j VR omega c divided by 2. This is the line current. We can write Vs equal to VR plus IR into Z. In this model, we can write Vs equal to VR plus IL into Z. Then substitute the value of IL Vs equal to VR and IL here mod of IR cos phi r minus j sin phi r plus j VR omega c divided by 2. Into Z, we can write R plus j x. And this in this equation and this model we can also write IS equal to IL plus IC2. And we can also write IL equal to J P of S into omega C divided by 2. Here is substitute the value of IL, and finally we get the Vs, sending end voltage. And finding the value of voltage regulation, we require no load voltage at the receiving end. No load voltage at the receiving end represent V dash R. So in this model, at the no load condition, looks like a IS R plus JX, and no load voltage is VR at the open terminals. So we can write no load voltage V dash R equal to mod of Vs minus 2 J upon omega C divided by R plus Jx minus J upon omega C by 2. This is the voltage, no load voltage. So we write percentage of voltage regulation equal to no load voltage minus receiving end voltage divided by receiving end voltage into 100. So we substitute the value of no load voltage and receiving end voltage. Finally we calculate the percentage of voltage regulation. So this voltage regulation we get nominal pi methods. The next method, we can also calculate voltage regulation by using of nominal T methods. Nominal T methods, medium transmission line, we represent in nominal T method, series impedance we divide in two parts. And capacitance of the whole transmission line we represent in the single parameters. So this parameter is also lumped parameters, but here we divide the series line impedance in two parts, equally two parts, Z by 2 and Z by 2. But capacitance of the whole transmission line we represent only the single value. Vs is the sending end voltage, Is sending end current, Ir is the receiving end current, Vr is the receiving end voltage, and Ic is the charging current. So in this model we also calculate the voltage regulation and efficiency of the transmission lines. So first we draw the phasor diagram of this model. So, here our reference phasor is the receiving end current, IR is the our reference phasor, and according to this model, VR and IR is the lagging. We are adding the drop IR into R, J IR X by 2 VR by 2. So, in this phasor we can write the equation Vc equal to mod of Vr cos phi r plus J mod of Vr sin phi r plus IR r by 2 plus J x by 2. This is the Vc, and IC J omega C into Vc. Here Vc, this phasor is Vc, and in this model we can write IS equal to IC plus IR, and substitute the value of IC, IR plus J omega C into Vc, and finally we write sending end voltage Vs equal to Vc plus I of S R by 2 plus J x by 2. This is the sending end voltage, and finally we calculate the voltage regulation. So, we required no load voltage. So, it is required to calculate no load voltage in this model. This is the no load. So, in this model we can write no load voltage V dash R equal to mod of Vs minus J upon omega C upon R by 2 plus J x by 2 minus J upon omega C. This is the no load voltage, and finally we write voltage regulation V dash R minus VR upon VR into 100. So here we calculate the voltage regulation and efficiency of the transmission line by two methods, nominal pi methods and nominal T methods. And last method, we can also calculate voltage regulation and efficiency by using of end condenser method. In end condenser method, medium transmission line, we represent the lumped parameters only. Series, line series impedance and capacitance of the transmission line we represent near to receiving end voltage, receiving end side. So this is the model of end condenser method. In end condenser methods, the total capacitance of the transmission line we connected near to receiving end voltage and series impedance of the transmission line lumped. So in this model we can also calculate percentage of voltage regulation and efficiency of the transmission line. Okay, thank you.